Hey guys, so last time we did Sonic 3 and Knuckles with modifying the Angel Island intro by adding new changes to it, like being able to skip it with the start button, and being able to make your own custom cutscenes. I'll do a quick demonstration real quick. Don't want to take too much of your time. So basically, being able to make custom cutscenes like this and skipping them by pressing start and starting the level. So we're going to do that again today, but for Sonic 3 alone, not Sonic and Knuckles. Sonic 3 alone, the Sonic 3 half, because it's a different part of it's its own little disassembly, which isn't part of the new disassembly released recently, not too long ago. So let's get started. Let's just get right into this. Don't want to waste any more of your time. So what we want to start off with first is let's see. We first have to make those two same routines that I've made from before. Here, the skip to start cutscene and the intro. So let's go ahead and make those. We'll go to a new routine called local 4D which is a routine from in Sonic 3, which is right below the demo for the player. Here, of course I'll copy and paste these routines in the description to give you an idea of where to go. So we'll paste it in right here. We'll create our own. We'll create the routines. So yeah, this will just be, however, just make it like that, and then we make the other one. Which like I've already explained last time, so I'm not going to go into depth of how it's done before. And also, the same code is from before. Well, actually, first thing we actually have to do is we have to use an address to skip the cutscene, which is unknown EE08, which we have to find that. Here, let me type that in there. Again, I'm going to paste all the important stuff in the description so you guys can follow up, or try to look for it, or try to use it. Let's just go ahead and find it. Okay, so you have to make sure you remove this check here, so then you can use it for your own thing. You can comment it out, or we can just delete it. So yeah, let's go back to that routine that we had before. Oops, hang on. We have to go to local the location where we're gonna put the two main functions for this tutorial. Skip Angel Island intro and. Again, I'm gonna have both of these routines in the description, so then you guys can use it can just copy paste it if you don't have time to type it all out by hand like me. I'm just typing it by hand so I can explain. But I already did this last time, so I think I might just copy paste it because it's literally the same thing. This is all the same thing from Sonic 3 and Knuckles' code. All the routine I had from before. So yeah, the flag to restart the level, and then the flag to set whether if you skip the cutscene or not, whether to skip the cutscene, and the check here for whether to just skip it, or no, the second part EE09, which is right here because it goes up by 1, whether to skip the wait, I can't remember exactly. It was something I had for the introduction. So you basically skip, but it's also to help out based on the player. So yeah, it was another flag set here to tell the game that it was already skipped. Yeah, I can't remember exactly what it was, what I had before. Man, I need to look back at my old code again. But anyway, I'm gonna have this whole thing in the description, so you can just copy paste it. So yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and clear the data register. Sorry, I'm not trying to drag this on for too long because literally it shouldn't take that long. Should not take long at all. And I don't want to just copy paste because I don't want to cheat out of the experience. I don't want to just make you cheat. Hang on a second. Let me see. Did I OR it? Yes, I did OR it. Okay, good. Yep, I did use an OR for that. An OR command to just kind of shift bits in there. So then they both can be hybrided together. Yeah. Okay, so let me just go ahead and just do the control pressed. Let's see. Is it pressed? Oh, okay, sorry. Control 1 pressed. I'm just going to put that in there. Let's see. Control 2 pressed, just because I wanted to test with both controllers, because why not? I mean, you don't have to have Control 2 pressed if you don't want, but it's for skipping the cutscene. Oh, right, it was for skipping the cutscene, whether if you press start or not. So yeah, that's what this flag was for. Okay, sorry. That may sound kind of awkward. It may seem kind of odd that I kind of forgot, but to be honest with you, I'm kind of just rushing through this one, just because it's the same thing as the other one, the one I posted last week, but for Sonic 3 alone. Okay, I think I might have said that already, but it's okay. No big deal. Just thought I would reiterate. So yeah, basically we just go over that. Yeah, making sure it starts, and then check if it's at 0. We branch to the end, and I gotta create that. What was it? That subroutine. Skip Angel Island intro end. Oops. Okay, I gotta make that routine real quick. Let's see. Angel Island intro end. You know, like before. Okay. This is gonna be very intense. Well, not really, but we'll see. So yeah. Hopefully I can get through this without any problems. Without stressing out. Shouldn't be too hard. But let's see. So we move byte. Let's see, put it to 1, and we move it to that address. The underscore unknown EEO8. Wait, is that correct? Hang on a second. Let me just double check. Oh, FF. I'm sorry, I forgot the F's. Oh, no. No, hang on, let me double check real quick. It's EE08, but why? Let me double check. I thought it was in Sonic 3 alone. Well, so one match in the entire file. Oh, I deleted it. Okay, oh, that's right. Okay, well, that's fine. So we'll put, I think we put +1, if I recall correctly. Yes. And then we move byte to restart level flag, like before. Yep. Restart. Okay, I can't type this. So yeah, restart level flag is what we're going to put in, because that's the flag that restarts the level. Since the level loops, it's a looping routine. It breaks out of the loop and then goes all the way back up to the beginning of the whole level game mode. So yeah, that's basically how it's set up. Wait, oh whoops, wait, oh whoops, I moved this all into the wrong routine. Silly me. It's supposed to be under skip cutscene. Okay, yeah. Basically, skip cutscene's supposed to have all this code here. Sorry, I completely misunderstood that. Okay, my bad. Okay, we can make a branch here. I think that's the last thing for this routine here. So branch address, or branch anyway, I think that's what it stands for, but whatever. Okay, we copy that in there. Now we gotta set up this routine. I think we did this last time, so it shouldn't be too. I don't have to go over explaining all of this again. I don't really feel like doing that. Rather just get straight and to the point. Same with all the other routines that you have to make changes to from the last tutorial. We have to do the same thing here, but it's for the labels are all different. That's the difference. So I'll explain that part in a minute. But first, let's just see. Make sure the flag is set. Yep. Make sure the flag is set. So there we go. Wait, let me just see. Sorry, I'm getting kind of lost here for a minute. Okay, so okay, sorry, it's TBS. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm getting lost here a little bit today. That's okay. It's no big deal. As long as we can get through this tutorial. That's all I want to do. Okay. There we go. Plus it by 1 because it checks for the press start flag. That's what this is. The EO9. Because it pluses by 1, and if it's not equal to 0, then it'll skip. Otherwise it'll set the original flag to skip the cutscene at 0, or to skip the cutscene based on the character. That was what the main difference is between these two. So there, like that, and now we're just going to copy this in. Since this is Sonic 3 alone, we won't have any way to test or check the character, whether it based on player mode, just to skip the cutscene by default. So we're just going to, skip that out. But you can include it in here if you want. That's optional, but I'm not going to do that just for the sake of this tutorial because it's already been done before. I did it before last time, so just take a look at the Sonic 3 and Knuckles one just to get an idea, because I don't want to go through every single detail of this again because it's too much reiteration. So anyway, these two routines are now set. So now that we got these two set, the skip cutscene and the skip the intro. So yeah. You have to clear the data register, just double checking to make sure everything's in place, because this is a very important routine. It's to help make things a little more optimized. Let's see. Okay, I need to save this, just make sure nothing gets screwy. Alright, so now let's go back to our list. So there's a big difference between Sonic 3 and Knuckles and Sonic 3 alone. We have to go to all these labels here. Again, all these labels will be in the description, so you can just go ahead and go ahead and find them in the description to go to each one that we need to make changes to. So yeah, it is different from Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Not the code, but the labels. That's really the only difference. It's the same. We're doing the same thing, but we have different labels we gotta abide by because of the different source codes. So yeah, we gotta make those little changes like before. Yes. Wait, let me just double check. There was something else I needed to go over, I think. Let's see. So I think I had to make a change to pause game, perhaps, with the start button. I'm not sure. We'll get back to that in a minute, actually. Yeah. So yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. First, let's just get through this whole list of all the cutscenes. I've already explained in Sonic 3 and Knuckles' tutorial from last time. So yeah, it's basically the same thing. Each of these routines do the same thing parallel to these other tutorials, just different labels. So let's just go ahead and find and get to the point. Okay. There we go. And we have our useless code here, something we don't need, blah blah blah. Yeah, something we don't need. Okay, so this is the useless routine from before. I kind of did this one already. Let me just double check to see what I did different again. Sorry, it's been a while. All right, so basically the only thing different is to just change this and then completely nuke this, or turn this to tst.b. Again, all this stuff will be copy pasted in the description, so you can just go ahead and follow along. So yeah, to make your life easier. Underscore unknown EE08. I think that's what that's what we agreed on. Okay, and we gotta change this to if it's not equal, it'll branch over to, it'll just skip the entire thing entirely. Yep, but this is the pointless one, although I'm just gonna do it in just in case, so we can just copy that line. And just gotta copy paste it over with any form. We're replacing any form of compare word with two-player mode with this, and we're replacing any of these type of branches that follow subsequently underneath with branch if it's not equal, because this is just a binary. I already reiterated this from before, so I don't need to go over it again. Let's go over to the next routine, which is 4756. I don't really quite remember what this routine was for again. Let's just go ahead and double check. Let's see. Okay, it's right underneath this directly, so that's actually good. That actually helps us a little bit. So this, actually, what we need to do here is we also need to make our branch to skip the intro, as stated from before. So we just go ahead, branch subroutine word skip Angel Island intro, branch after you load your character for the skipping the intro based on the character. So it's definitely good to have. And also you want to have your check to skip over the so here to like check whether if the start button was pressed already. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead word unknown. Let's see, EO8, I think it was. let's see, and then oh yeah, the +1 because it's the refers to the variable that checks if you press start or not. So yeah, but this sets it to 0 because I can't remember why again. I think it's because when you start the level, so then you won't get stuck in a loop with whenever you press start, you won't be stuck with the level constantly reloading. Yeah, that's basically I think what this is for. Again, that's what I added it in for. Because to be honest with you, I written this tutorial a while back. I just haven't had time to go over it and remember everything, every little aspect or important detail. So yeah, but that's just essentially what it is. That's essentially how I'm doing this. Let's see. I'm kind of winging this a little bit because I got other obligations to attend to, and I kind of want to just get to the point here. So, unknown e. This was a variable from before. The based on the player to skip the cutscene. I think we move this up here instead as opposed to it being down here. And where did this branch to specifically? It branches down to the to check the competition's PLC or to determine which PLC to load based on whether if it's competition node, player 2, or if whatever character you're playing as. Of the live counter, yes. Okay, so these all branch to the same thing, so let's just remove that and then delete that. So they all branch to the same thing, so there we go. And yeah. Okay, so now let's go ahead and check. So we jump over from player, wait. Oh, that's for later on. Hang on, I'll get to that part last. Oh yeah, and on last time we talked about the PLC, that little PLC bug whenever we added our Tails custom cutscene. So for prevention, we're gonna just do that right now. Take care of that right now. So we have to make so we have to go ahead and skip over this. Actually, no, sorry, we include that one. So we include this here. We'll just make our new code here. Oops, make our new code here. Oops, no, right directly underneath. So we'll compare word or integer word. Check if it's the second player mode 2. Let's go ahead and type player mode 2 underscore. Oh, sorry. Player. I wonder if player mode is. Let me just see. Is player mode capitalized or not? Man, I'm really kind of off today. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I feel kind of off today. Okay, it's the same thing. Okay, it's right here. So if it's not equal to this, we'll just skip ahead to the PLC routine counter or whatever. So we'll just make our random location We'll make our random routine label. We'll just go ahead, copy paste, and just put a name because I don't really feel like coming up with labels right now, as I'm kind of lazy. I'm not gonna lie. Make sure it branches over to that, and now, oops, we're gonna put something underneath here. Move quickly 07 because that's the PLC which loads Tails' life counter. So this is just a foresight, just because I don't feel like going back to this, just to get that part done. All right, so now we got that part out of the way. Oh, okay, well, okay. Everything seems to be in ship shape, making sure everything looks good. Okay, now we're going over to our next routine, which is 48BA. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and keep going. So yeah, now we're gonna go over to see what else we need to do. Let's see. This right here is for the title card, I believe. Let me just take a check. Hang on a second. Yeah, actually, this is for. I think it's for playing the music or maybe loading the title card. Yeah, I believe it's. But anyway, you do have to make changes to this one. But all we got to do is just change this line here. Let's see. It branches over to 48F2. Let's see. I have it branch over to 48F2. So we just got to change this check here to test byte. And then to our variable, which, you know, from before, as I stated earlier. Let's see. And then change the branch if it's equal or not equal to, and have it branch over. And we gotta change the label to, or change our variable to unknown EE. Oh, EE08. There we go. I think it's what I had it from before. And now we got to move it above the current zone and act. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay. All right. That seems good. All right. So we're going to go ahead, and if it's not equal, it'll branch over. I guess I could change it to word. You don't need to. It's not required. I just change it to word just in case of extra code's added and the branch is too far, to prevent a compiling error. From the compiler won't complain about it being too far. Yeah, because that's how compiling branches are. Of course, I think honestly it doesn't matter in this case, but just to be safe, just to double check, just to whatever. So let's move up here. Let's just go ahead and make sure, compare the code, make sure there's nothing drastically different. Make sure I got everything. Okay, next routine. So yeah, now time for main level spawn sprites, which spawns the introduction. So here we go. I'll get into the other details in a little bit. So yeah, okay, so we're gonna go to main level spawn sprites. So this one, but from before, I already discussed that we had to make a routine for our separate characters. I guess we could do that now, or maybe we can get to this one last, actually. Actually, yeah, let's get to this one last. Let's just go through the rest of the branches first. Yeah, go through the rest of the branches first. So here, I'll just make a note to myself. I'll just, come back. So, yeah, just to come back to that. So let's go ahead and get to the next routine, which is 1A 38C. So let's go ahead and jump over. Let's see, got to go to the next one. All right, so this is the starting location, which starts the player at the far, far, far back, just for the introduction. Yes, that's how it works. So let's go ahead and let's go find the change that I had to do here for it. So basically, we got to move this whole thing up here above the current zone. That's just how the branch. That's basically how I have it. So does it branch to the same location? Let's see. No, it does not. Oh, actually, no, it does with the level. Oh, both of these above the? No. This is above the last star post hit. Just this. Okay, so for this case, it is above the last star post hit. Interestingly enough, unknown E. Let's see. Go all the way down here. Tab, and now we gotta delete this. So yeah, and then test the bytes, and then just change the branch carry to if it's not equal, and we'll just turn this into a word since the branch is going to be a little further away. It's to be too big for a small. So yeah, that's kind of what you got to do. Let's go ahead and double check with this. Okay, let's just go ahead and compare and contrast. Oops. Let's make sure I did this correctly. Okay, so we'll save that. Now we got to go to our next one, which was the level load block for each of the zones, because it loads a different load block for the intro compared to the level. Yep, that's what it does. We end up going to the second one first, which is no big deal. It's no big deal. It's fine. We can do that. Not the end of the world. So we just got to do the same thing we did here. This is gonna be very long and repetitious, but just bear with me because we got to finish this up. So now we just got to go ahead and then we just got to go ahead and change this here. Branch if it's not equal. Yep, let me just double check, see if there's anything else. I did this tutorial beforehand, of course, repetition, so you don't actually have to change it to branch change the short to word, but I do it anyway, just because why not? It would be beneficial too. So go ahead and save. Let's go ahead. Let's double check. Sorry. Okay. All right. I think we are good here. Now let's go on to the next part, the level load block, I believe. So we're going to go ahead and branch to that one. Let's go ahead. There we are. And then we do the same thing. Unknown E, EE8, tab, turn this, and then turn this to test bytes. of course, and then branch if it is equal to word. Could we go back though for just a second, because I want to double check. Okay, making sure that was changed to bytes. Yeah, it's changed to byte, so that's fine. Let's go ahead to the next one. Sorry. Turn this to bytes, and if it's equal to word, all right, let's go ahead and check it here as well, because it's important to double check. For me to double check to make sure I'm following my own guide correctly. So yeah, so then I can just wing this without having to, stress about not doing this tutorial correctly, my own tutorial correctly. So let's see. Oh, whoops, I forgot one thing. Turn this into not equals. That's what I forgot. Oh, okay. Made a little mistake. I have, wait, whoa, I screwed up here. Hang on. There we go. Oh, I deleted it. Okay, sorry. So there we go. Just do it like that. Yep. And now we can let's just go back to the second one just to make sure I changed it. Okay, good. Making sure it's branched to if not equal as opposed to being equal. So now let's get to the next one. All right, so two more. Okay, so this is gonna be 1, 2. So yeah. Okay, so I think we are almost there. Just got a few more things. Just got a couple more labels to change. Which this is for the resize routine. The level when it resizes the level boundaries from the game. It also has that for the introduction too as well. So we're gonna have to make a change here to make it skip the cutscene when you have the flag set. And there we are. Let's just move this up. So there we go. Yeah. So we're going to do our TBS bytes. We're going to change this. Let's just see. If it's not equal to 0, but if it is, well, I mean, if it is equal to 0, so we'll do the same thing again. Just turn that to unknown. All right, so if it's not equal, it'll branch. If it's not equal to 0, it'll branch. Like if it's 1, then it will skip. But if it's equal to 0, it'll go through. All right, let's just double check to make sure I did this correctly, to make sure I typed this in correctly. Okay, that's fine. We'll just have to change this to a word. Okay, and then we should skip that whole cutscene, which, will go all the way down. All right, so we save it. I guess that should be good. So, let's see. What else do I need? Okay, so now we'll have 1A96C. I'm sorry, I keep misreading these labels. I do apologize for that. All right, let's just count. Here we go. This is the next one, the last one, the very last one. So we should be good now. Okay, need to breathe. Need to suck in some air. Not get too worked up over how this tutorial is, because honestly, I get too perfectionist with everything. I just kind of need to just let things flow and not care too much about perfection. Because let's be honest, we're all flawed. No matter what you no matter what you say, it's gonna always be flawed. Everything in life will have flaws. So yeah, I just gotta make sure I do this correctly. It's good to do it correctly though, so just keep that in mind. Okay, that should be correct. That's the last label to make the same change from the other routines, So let's just double check, make sure everything's in sync, and save. Okay, so now it skips this whole thing if it's set, because it just loads the level primarily. So now we're going to go ahead and double check everything. We'll double check this routine here. Hopefully it works just as expected. Fingers crossed that didn't screw anything up. So yep, that should be good. That's the last label. That was good. So now Now we gotta go back to main level sprites. Let's go ahead and just go find main level sprites. Yeah, we gotta make our changes to this as well to load our player or Tails introduction. Yes, I'll show you. I'll also show you later on of how to disable it again, just in case if you forgot. So let's go ahead and now we have to make our routine like before, or no, our array. So yeah, introduction end. Let's see. Okay, so we do have to make a couple of changes here. Let's see. What did I do again? Well, let me go back. Let's go ahead and make our array for the players, based on the player. Have it load primarily based off of the player. Okay, so now we got to make our an array and call it. We're gonna call it Angel Island Player Introduction Cutscenes. Let's see. Is that how? Yes, intro cutscenes. I'm sorry, not introduction. Intro cutscenes, just to make it feasible. So then we gotta do data carry long. Because it goes because we have to load, we have to push an object like a label which will be about 4 bytes, which is a long. That's the size of a long. So we got to do that again, as I explained earlier. So each of these got to be pushed as longs because of the labels. Let's see, what was it called again? Object Angel Island. Oops. Let's see. Object Angel Island. I'm sorry, it's right in front of me. I'm so blind. And Angel Island intro. So we got to do the same for Sonic alone. Maybe in another tutorial I'll talk about the snowboard cutscene, but I have to fix a couple things first, a couple of graphical bugs. So yeah, and now we got to do object. Well, we got to make the Tails object intro. So we'll just put that in there for now. Make sure it's all the same. And so let's see. I have to make a label. Well, I don't need to make a label. It exists for me here. Yeah, that's how it works. And yeah, we got to change this. Got to change this code entirely. How do we branch to the end though? That's what I don't know. So locker. Okay. So let's see, how did I do this again? So basically we gotta make sure we do a skip over the whole thing. If the cutscene's already been skipped, just skip over to hydrosity. So now we gotta just we just gotta move this up here, these two lines with compare integer word player 2 mode, and move it up top of here, I think. Or was it on top of the... No, it's just up top of here. Okay, fine. So yeah, basically, because this does check if you've pressed start, I believe. Or no, sorry. Let me double check. No, you didn't press start. No. It's just for skipping the cutscene intro. Like if the character doesn't have a cutscene on Angel Island. So yeah, make it branch over. Oops, not to Lockrit, just to the next zone, which, hydrosity, because you still want it to play all the oh, yeah, wait. Oh, wait. Oh, it's right. Wait, why is it? Hold on a second. Wait, oh no. Huh. How did I get plain? Oh, I made a mistake here. Whoops, sorry. I did not mean to paste that in there. So here. Make sure that this routine right here is local for DFE. Sorry, that was a major mistake there I made. Okay, so now we have a branch over. Just skips over there. So good. Now we gotta find plain intro. Okay, so now we gotta make some changes to make it push into the array, which is we gotta retrieve the data from player mode. Let's see. Make sure those branches are in check. Make sure everything's in check. And we gotta check to make sure, turn this into a word, just in case. Same with this one here, in case the branch is too far. So we're gonna move the data register 0 to 0. Well, we gotta clear the data register 0 to push in case if there was other cached data that was moved from along, just so then it doesn't prevent any crashes. And yeah, you get the drill. So basically, then we gotta add, make sure we add it twice by itself because we're trying to get to the size of a long, which would be in 4s as opposed to 2s or as opposed to 1s. So there we go. So it's got to be, so player mode would be at 0, it would still be at 0. For 1, it would be at 4, and for 2, it would be at 8. That's the locations of these. I think I already stated that from before, so we'll just get right into it. Just get right to the point. So we're just going to go ahead and paste this label in, but we're going to do program counter, and then data register 0.word, and then we do that. Well, first let me double check to see if that's how. Oh wait, right. I gotta make sure it's moved into a data register. My mistake. There. Do it like that, and then we move long from data register 0 to from data register 0 to the array address. So there we go. Because the compiler will complain if you just move it right in from the array to the address. So it's best to put it in the data register, in my opinion. So anyway, oh right, I forgot I had to include it. I had to include this flag. Did I? What did I include this in? Wait, let me just check something real quick. I included a flag here. I don't remember why. Oh, I didn't. Okay, there's no reason. So you don't even need this. So that's just sugar on the cake, I guess. Okay, well, that should be everything for the first part. Let's see, make sure I didn't, making sure I didn't forget anything. So one more thing we got to do, we got to make sure we make some changes to, we got to include the Tails object, the cutscene object, which again I have posted on GitHub. I'll post a link in the description so you can go ahead and copy paste it. So here, it's on our GitHub here, my GitHub, like the dev tutorials. So last time I kind of just skimmed through this to not go over and I didn't reiterate with what I was doing here. So yeah. Oh, and before we get to this, we have one more thing we need to do, which we need to go to the plane object. The Angel Island intro cutscene. Let's see. Hang on a second. Let's see. What was it called again? Okay, sorry. So we got to go to the plane object intro, which we did from our last tutorial, and do the same thing again. We got to make sure we have a jump subroute line to a jump to that routine that we created from earlier. Let's see, Angel Island skip introduction, start to skip cutscene. So wait, I thought I made it in here. Wait, I thought I had it made in here. Huh? Let me just double check real quick. I think I have it in here. Might have been called something else. Hang on a second. Let's see, I had it in here real quick. Okay, let's skim through this. Yada yada. It's not what I'm looking for. Hang on. What did I call? Oh, sorry, I'm feeling a bit off today. Let's see. Okay, let's go ahead and find that routine we created. Okay, wait. I have it in here though. Bizarre. Anyway, well, that's what we called it. We called it Start to Skip Cutscene. So we're going to go back to Angel Island intro. Let's go back to that object, and we can paste this in here. There we go. That's what we need for the plane, because then we can skip the cutscene. And yeah, that should be it. So that's what we need to check to see if it's been changed. Oh, there is a difference. I forgot I put a dash in there. Okay, whatever. It's not that big of a deal because you just have to change this. The compiler will complain that it doesn't exist, but it does. So now we got to create that object. That you got to copy paste. Now we're gonna go make the cutscene object for Tails. For Tails' intro. So go back to GitHub, copy all of this. I kind of skimmed over it last time, but we're gonna go over. So we can copy the same one from Sonic 3 and Knuckles that I made, but we're gonna have to make a couple of label changes to make sure that it's consistent. So yeah. So let's go ahead and paste this in. But we will have to make a couple of changes to make sure it works. First, I will explain the object. So what this does here is that it's basically like a routine counter, which is kind of like how Sonic 2 and Sonic 1 function. This is the routine counter to initiate, load the graphics and all the data for the plane. And then this just loads the next part of the object into player 1's RAM address, which will, which kind of gives the mappings. It kind of shows you, kind of just gives the main body, I guess, if I recall correctly, the main body for the plane. And then this loads the child propeller. And then this is the flames for it. So yeah, these basically are just child sub-objects of the main object, or child objects, I should say. They use all the RAM addresses in the ST. So yes, and then in Sonic 3 and Knuckles has a different format compared to Sonic 1 and 2 for how the object functionality works. So this right here is basically Sonic 3 and Knuckles basically goes by a label, it just calls a label. Sonic 1 and 2 have routine counters. How objects are loaded in Sonic 1 and 2 is that they have indexes, and then they retrieve it by a small number, which is a byte. Sonic 3 and Knuckles, however, calls it by a label or by an address and just puts it in the main standard ST 0 through 4. So yeah, that's basically, and then that's called instead. So that Sonic 3 and Knuckles has a much different format compared to Sonic 1 and 2's. So yeah, and then this is just basically, it checks on the x-axis where the player is, which is the plane object. So yeah, and then if it's there, it'll just jump over to it'll just load the Tails object into player 1's RAM address, and then just load all the important stuff like the X positions, the speed, the velocities, and all that. That's what I have it do, and plays the sound effect. And then this loads the introduction title card. Of course, we're going to make some label changes to make sure it works here. We'll do that in a minute. First, I want to do one small thing. We'll make sure this label exists. So we're going to go over to spawned main player sprites, which is the routine for this. Oops, hang on. Oops. Yeah, there it is. Wait, no, sorry. It's a little further up. I'm sorry. Let's see. It was here somewhere. Sorry. I'm going based off of memory here. Let's go back to the list again. I guess it was called... let me just go back real quick. Let's see. Let's just go over to sorry, hang on. There it is. It's SpawnLevelMainSprites spawn players. I'll paste this link. I'll paste this label in the description. So now, after that, we gotta find the Tails alone and put the label right here. So then the object can make a link to this. So here, and the label is also called local 4FE6. So now let's go over to this. Yeah, okay, that should be good. That will work. All right, so now, okay, so next we gotta now change, hold up, where was I? Oh yeah, making changes to the cutscene object, making sure that it's good to go. So yeah. So we already made changes to fixed that bug as a foresight. So we're just now going to make some changes to the labels, making sure the labels get their changes. Yes. Okay, so now we skip, so we have that working. We have to make a couple of labels here. Skim this. There's only a few places we need to change the labels, which would be, so hold on, let's just go skim this a little bit. It would have to definitely be something with the the propeller. Yes, the propeller needs to be changed. Hang on, it needs to be changed from 6A, 67A, 80F, or F to 4.5 to byte 4.5. Here, let's just go ahead and quickly change to 4.5 E 6B. So there, that needs to be changed. So, oops, let's go down a little bit. Oh, hold up, let me just compare and contrast. Oh, and the jump to loading the title card has to also be changed. This right here, 61F22 to 41880. Let's go back. Oh, sorry. 8B0. Yes, basically change that to this right here. So there we go. And then one more link, one more, let's see, one more label has to be changed. So from that to, so that also, so 67A97 has to also be changed. Hang on, let me just double check. To 5, I think. Yeah, because this is for the child sprite from the original cut. This object also borrows objects or copies objects from the Angel Island intro plane, just because I didn't want to have to paste and copy paste more data. So that's what this is. It's just basically the PLCs and the art data from that object. So that's what we're doing here basically. 45E whatever. Let's see. 45E6B. That's it. There you go. All right. I think that's it. It was just 4 labels. That's all that was needed. Wait. Oh, whoops. I made a mistake. I'm sorry. It's supposed to be 5E73. Okay. I keep making a bunch of mistakes here, but I don't really care. We're all human. We all make mistakes. It's not a big deal. We're all cool, right? Well, probably not. That's okay, though. I don't really care that much. I don't give a crap. I just want to be done here. I just want to get through this tutorial so then we can move on with our lives. And then I can move on to the next great thing. So I think that should be it. Let's double check to make sure I gotten through everything. So I went through the whole list of changing the cutscenes. Of changing for the cutscenes. Let's see. I made those routines at the beginning. I created, including that object. I did the changes to the main spawn sprites of the array object. Let's see. I cleared the flags, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. I did the change for the life icon, so I believe we should be complete. Let's double check. Oops, run. So let's go ahead and double check. That should be everything. I'm going to go ahead and build it and see if there's any errors. Let's go ahead. Okay, nope. Oh, that's build Sonic 3 complete. Whoops, my bad. There we go. I meant build Sonic 3. So you have to click on this to build Sonic 3 to build Sonic 3 alone. So now, let's go ahead and test this. I kind of skimmed through this, to be honest with you. Let's make sure everything's working. Alright, so first we're going to test Tails cutscene. Oh, whoops, I forgot to do a little change. Hang on a second. Okay, well it skips now. That's good. It's loading the Tails object. Okay, a little mistake I have to go back to, but what's okay. We'll get back to that in a little while. In a little short bit. Let's just test the other players. Make sure it runs. So let's go ahead and skip this. Alright, that's fine. So this seems to be working pretty good. No issues. Let's just go ahead and kill ourselves real quick. Yeah, kill ourselves. Make sure nothing crashes. Alright, that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and skip. Alright, the cutscene was skipping, so we'll just do that real quick. Skip. There we go. Cutscene skipping. That's good. We can skip the cutscene now. Alright, that's good. Let's just test. Alright, that's good. We did a bunch of testing here. So now we're going to go ahead and make that little change that we forgot to do for the Tails intro for our Sonic 3 tutorial. I forgot to do a little small change. I'm sorry. I do apologize. Angel Island plain. This counts. Okay. Plain intro. Sorry, we forgot to do that for player 2 mode. We'll just do that real quick. Yep. And and to test our thing, we'll just go ahead and test our thing. To test our thing from earlier, the routine from earlier, that one, the skip intro based on the character. We're gonna go ahead and put we're gonna go ahead and compare word of player 1 mode. Oops. We're just gonna do a complete. We forgot. I should have done that earlier. Whatever. It's no big deal. I'm just gonna do that to test. If it is equal to this, let's see. Let me just double check real quick to make sure if it's branch, if it's equal. Yes, if it is equal, it'll just skip to the end. So yeah, we're gonna just do this real quick just to test our player 1. You don't have to do this part. It's okay. It's optional. This one part I'm doing right now, but I'm doing this just to test, make sure it works. Let's go ahead and build our Sonic 3 bat, which is just Sonic 3 alone, not Sonic 3 and Knuckles, just to clarify. Oops. Alright. Now let's go ahead and test. Alright, now we can go ahead and test. Alright, starts. Let's go ahead. Should load the Tails cutscene. There we go. Now it's loading, just like as expected. Skim this a little bit. So it should work now. There we go, and it loads the life icon and everything. So there we go. Let's go ahead and test Sonic's mode real quickly. And yep, it skips the cutscene entirely. But let's just see if it doesn't, do anything weird. Alright, good. It's not working. Or it's working, I'm sorry. It's working. Yeah, why would I say it's not working? That would be stupid. Alright, let's go ahead and test that. Alright, nothing's wrong here. Looks good. Everything is okay. Let's just go ahead and test Sonic's mode one more time. Let's go ahead and skip. Skipping works pretty good. Awesome. So that's it. That's the end of this tutorial. Thank you for watching, and if you have any other tutorial suggestions, please let me know in the comments. I was thinking about adding Tails to Sonic 1 with this as a sidekick, maybe for Sonic 1's disassembly AS, because that's what Clownacy uses for his disassemblies, but for his hacking tutorials. But just let me know, give me suggestions, and I will try to take a look into them. If something seems too impossible, I might decline, but we'll see. But anyways, thanks for watching, and goodbye.